After the 27-16 victory over the Baylor Bears this Saturday in Austin, is Coach Tom Herman still on the hot seat? Or is it still Urban Myer time or bust as far as Longhorns fans are concerned? We'll have a little bit more on that after the intro.
Rage on that beat, going crazy. Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or whatever this video finds you. I hope everybody is happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Welcome to the Eyes on Texas channel. Of course, you know me. I'm your boy AK, and I produce college football content pretty much every single day of the week as I focus in on the Texas Longhorns and college football in general. So holla at you, boy! And the topic of this video is going to be dead. Coach Tom Herman saved his job against the Baylor Bears in his 27-16 win, or is it still Urban Myer time or bust on the 40 for the Texas Longhorns? I dig into that deep. Your boy AK answers those questions and more as of right now. But first, what has Coach Tom Herman done here at his time in his 3+ years on the 40 acres? In my opinion, he's been a big-time disappointment, and his biggest big-time disappointment is where his production or lack of production and wins is going to be against big-time opponents. Texas has a losing record against the University of Oklahoma, who has won the Big 12 title each of the 3 years that Coach Tom Herman has been under their helm in the 40 acres. He has a losing record against TCU. The Horned Frogs has had his GOAT. Coach GP hasn't had the recruits, doesn't have the #1 overall talents as far as the recruiting statuses are concerned, but Coach GP and his defense still seems to get it done against Tom Herman and the Longhorns on a consistent basis. Coach Gundy in Stillwater also has a winning record against the Longhorns on his 3+ years on the 40 acres. Coach Tom Herman, to his credit, did come up big on Austin, beating the Cowpokes last year. Big-time victory to his credit. And Coach Tom Herman has known to come up big-time games as far as bowl games are concerned. Had a big-time victory against the number 11 ranked Utah Utes, I believe it was, as the Texas Longhorns dominated Utah in the bowl victory last year. But that was last year, and we're talking about this year, and his team has looked absolutely terrible. Absolutely unready to play from the get-go. First quarter opening drives, lots of fumbles, lots of mistakes. Senior captain Derek Kerstetter twice has come in late. Penalties after the play coming in to hit late. The first one would have set them up with a 4th and 1 on the goal line, but yet that 15 yards back, how he had to kick the field goal. That was a major mistake. Big time mental mistakes, lots of penalties, and we haven't had much progression as far as Sam is concerned either, right? Sam Ehlinger, his freshman year, was a great college quarterback. Sent Shane Buechele packing up to SMU. Sent Shane packing up to Dallas, right? But ever since then, really not much progression as far as Sam Ehlinger, as far as reading the defense is concerned, his accuracy is concerned, or throwing in tight windows, as he was late over the middle, as I spoke about earlier, to the tight end Wiley, was late and missed number 7 Jake Smith on an out route. These are things that you need to sew up. If you are a prime passer who knows how to read the defense and knows where to fit the balls into tight spaces, these things are some things that you do not miss. So, production as far as players progressing and actually developing under Tom Herman has been lacking. All these 4- and 5-star recruits that Texas has got, Jordan Whittington has been unhealthy. He has been banged up on his time on the 40 acres, but not much have we seen from him. Lots of explosive players come into Texas, and whenever they go to the University of Texas, they don't seem to be as explosive, right? Let's take Keontae Ingram, for example. Coming out of high school, I was read that he was a 4.55 guy in the 40. I don't see that explosiveness at all. Bijan Robinson came into the game against the Baylor Bears. I saw that explosiveness. I believe he averaged 4.7 yards a carry. I do believe that he is going to be our featured back coming in, but lack of player development, lack of big-time production and big-time games as we have a losing record against our biggest foes still has Coach Tom Herman on the hot seat, and I believe that it is still Urban Myer time or bust here in the Texas Longhorns. Your boy AK is still going to be an advocate for Urban Myer, and many reasons why. Let's start with recruiting. It's going to be very easy for Urban Myer just to go in there with his rings, with his championship rings, with his NCAA title rings, with his conference championship rings, because he did it at his time at Utah. He did it at his time at Florida, and he did it at his time at Ohio State. All he has to do is get these recruits on the phone, step into that living room, and the deal will almost be sealed for sure. Innovative play caller, innovative offensive mind, very much anticipated his arrival at the University of Texas. I am still a believer that it is still Urban Myer time or bust. I don't want to have any coach that is unproven. I do know that the OC that is now took over for Urban Myer at Ohio State is now doing an absolute bang-up job. Of course, Lincoln Riley doing an absolute bang-up job there at the University of Oklahoma, but those guys came up in the ranks. He was the offensive coordinator there at Ohio State, the gentleman who is the current head coach. I believe his name is Ryan Day. I could be wrong. But with that being said, he was the offensive coordinator here. He was entrenched in that university. We don't have that here at the University of Texas. We need a big-time name. We need a big-time coach to make that explosion. And I believe that Tom Herman has had his time here at the 40 Acres. If he wins out and wins another bowl game, I believe that we are just going to be in the same spot a year from now as we are right now. We're going to be 2-2, 3-2, somewhere right around 500, losing to Oklahoma and not winning Big 12 titles. It's still Urban Myer time or bust as far as I'm concerned for the Longhorns on the 40. What are your comments? What are your concerns? Do you have another coach that you could possibly think that could fill the realm here on the 40? I've heard some people want to row your boat for the Minnesota coach PJ Fleck. I've heard a lot of people talk about the defensive coordinator for Clemson. That might be a good idea. I'm still on the Urban Myer or bust train. Holla at you, boy. Keep your head on a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up.
Ready, be ready, be ready for y'all. Rage on that beat, gon' crazy. Rage on that beat, gon' crazy. Rage on that beat, gon' crazy.